And the dark world of child pornography has once again landed in the Lilac City. A Spokane man, Warren Mumpower, is one of 12 men arrested in a worldwide bust. Erik Loney is going to show us how he was able to live in his neighborhood without anyone knowing he was a convicted sex offender. And we'll show you how this case is similar to the Joseph Duncan case. Tonight, KXLY4 learns more about Warren Mumpower. Erik Loney is now with us live. Erik, tell us about Mumpower's past and his part in a ring that allegedly traded more than 400,000 child porn images.
Yeah, they say Mumpower's part took place right here at his house in northeast Spokane. We spoke to neighbors and they said obviously they had no idea about his alleged crimes, and neither did 3 retired police officers who had been in his basement in the past operating model trains.
We don't want nothing to do with this guy.
Tony Goetz is the president of the Inland Northwest Garden Railroad Society. He says his group is feeling angry and betrayed that a member is now accused with trading child porn.
It's very disappointing and frustrating. You know a guy, I've known him for 8 years, and to have this come out and happen is just mind-boggling.
Goetz says Warren Mumpower is a knowledgeable and active member in the Garden Railroad community. At one time, Mumpower owned a hobby shop on North Monroe that closed, so he sold trains on the internet from his North Spokane home. Mumpower even posted pictures of the trains in his basement online, a place 3 Garden Railroad Society members and retired cops had been before.
No one had an idea. None of us did.
And you'd been to his house before?
Yes. And it just nothing unusual. He had railroad magazines around and mostly train stuff. He was a railroad nut, for lack of a better word.
Goetz says Mumpower, seen here speaking to the Spokane City Council a couple years ago about STA buses, was also a computer nut. Mumpower posted several videos online and pictures of trains in his own home. He was arrested in that home last week and charged with using the computer to trade thousands of pictures of child porn. Neighbors say he was a quiet guy that kept to himself.
We used to call it the spooky house because you never saw anybody out during the day. He was never mean, we just would stay away.
A search of court records found Mumpower was sentenced to 15 years in prison in Florida during the early 80s for sexually abusing 2 girls, only 8 and 9 years old. Due to overcrowded prisons, he served less than 7 years behind bars and was released before the law required convicted sex offenders to register as pedophiles with their local police. Goetz says the group is considering changing its name so no one can tie Mumpower to them again.
And we don't want people to think that's what we do.
Mumpower faces at least 20 years in prison if convicted of these allegations. The U.S. Marshals now have 10 days to bring him back to Florida, where he faces these federal charges. Reporting live, Erik Loney, KXLY4.
Erik, thanks so much. Well, this international ring is part of a growing trend of complicated pornography rings under investigation by the FBI.
KXLY4's Melissa Luck explains how this ring was taken down and the connection to convicted child killer Joseph Duncan.
With an international reach spreading from Australia to right here in Spokane, 12 men in 11 states now face federal indictments in this latest child pornography ring. Police say the ring amassed and distributed more than 400,000 images of children as young as 5, engaged in unthinkable acts. Police say what makes this organization unique is the degree to which it used technology and other methods to conceal its underground activity. Court records show the group used sophisticated encryption methods to make it difficult for those outside the organization to enter chat rooms and view the pornographic material. Sources tell ABC News the organization developed software specifically designed to block law enforcement and others from infiltrating it and viewing the pornographic material. Sound familiar? Convicted child killer Joseph Duncan also had thousands of encrypted files even the FBI's best computer experts couldn't crack.
Only those people, those few other people who were in the ring who would have known how to decrypt or descramble the data would have been able to see it.
One of the suspects, using the internet name Mystical, called the organization the greatest group of pedophiles to gather in one place. Authorities are now trying to work through those images to determine the identities of the children depicted so that they can be rescued. I'm Melissa Luck, KXLY4.